think you should be.
What is going on, guys? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we will be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Stellar. So shout out to Jordan Young. If you guys want to be shouted out in tomorrow's video, please make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, and leave a comment below telling me what your top altcoin is. Otherwise, let's get right into the show. So right now I'm on the cryptocurrency market cap, and I'm just going to refresh the page quick so we can see where exactly we are at. You'll notice, though, guys, that we have finally caught back up to where we originally saw the dip a few days ago. So a few days ago, we saw this dip right around 433 billion, and we fell all the way to like 380. So around $50 billion had left the market. Well, right now the market cap is 436 billion, and it's coming in very strong. And reason being is we have a 24-hour volume of around $26 billion. Bitcoin dominance at a very, very, very low level, and we're at 436 billion, but if we look at the market, most of the coins aren't that high up, which is interesting. Most of them are only up like 1 to 2 or 3%. Actually, I take that back. Well, most are, but then there are some wild ones like Ontology up 25%, IOTA up 18%, and Bitcoin Cash up 13%. But for the most part, I think this is just starting. You know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, even Litecoin aren't really moving that well yet. Now, I wanted to point out, guys, we're still number 7. We're pretty much neck and neck with Cardano, only about $1 billion difference in the market cap. But what I wanted to point out was we look at Litecoin, and what hopefully you guys are noticing is I have drawn a descending triangle. And by doing so, we could even like move this lower if we really wanted to. Yeah, something like that. We can then go and draw something called the Elliott wave triangle. The impulse wave, we'll do the Elliott wave triangle. And basically what you can do is start it at 0, go up to an A, down to a B, a C, then a D, and then we have the E right here leading to a breakout. So you can see how we have a smaller Elliott wave forming on the 4-hour, and we actually just broke out of it, which is very nice to see. So when I refresh this, you'll notice that we're back on the 4-hour, and we have an RSI, a stock RSI, at around 58, I'd say, maybe 57. So we're not too overbought yet. Nowhere near it, actually. So there is room for the crypto to grow. You'll notice right now, though, we are facing some slight resistance in this region right here, and it'll be a good indicator whether or not we can blast through here. But basically, right around 152, we do seem to have some slight resistance. And then higher up at around the 155 region, we seem to have more of an issue too. But you'll notice we have support at 145 and then resistance at around 155. So that channel is pretty much going to be Litecoin's best bet to break out, and if we do see one. So basically, when I go to the daily right now, you'll notice what exactly is happening. So when I just zoom out here, you'll notice for the most part, I can even lower this, that the region right around 153 seems to be this channel right here of the most resistance that's pretty much been caught up with Litecoin. Now, when we looked at the 4-hour, we saw that we did pretty much bounce off of this high-low middle moving average, the MMA, which is what I expected, because when we came down pretty well near the support level, as well as moving and meeting up with this MMA. So we pretty much popped right up off here and are going right back up to retest that. Now when we look on the TD sequential, you'll notice we're pretty much finishing this 9-candle run. So it'll be interesting to see what we start. We could see a 1 to 4 candle pullback due to a 9-candle, run up. You can see how we went from 1 here all the way to 9, and then we started all the way down to a 7-candle pullback. So we'll see whether or not we can pull back slightly, maybe regain some support right at that MMA when it moves up, or if we're going to just continue lower. But that's why I wanted to get into the daily. You'll notice that we're currently in a good position on the daily, only at a 2nd candle right here. And hopefully if this 2nd candle closes above the 1st, it'll allow us to start this as an uptrend. And that's what we're really looking for. You'll see how we've had much resistance and support in this area, reversing. We were just pretty much closing and starting new candles at 1 to 2. And we're now starting that again over here. So this is probably going to close above and start a new 1 candle and eventually retest that MMA that we're looking at. But what we really need to see in Litecoin right now is a move bringing us out of this resistance region. You'll notice that's why there's so many lines drawn here, is because this is where we're caught up, right in this zone. And hopefully with enough money and volume moving into crypto and into Litecoin, we'll be able to break through that green band right here, which seems to be acting as the most resistance at the moment. We haven't gone near the red band yet. But hopefully with enough pressure, we should be able to break through and into this channel right here. We're looking pretty much for Litecoin to start this uptrend on the daily, move and kind of play in this region right here, in between this high-low middle moving average, and eventually bring us up higher, or maybe even get into this channel, into this region, these channels right here. That's what we're looking for to play with. That's what we're really looking for. But right now, I think we needed to consolidate ever so slightly, and that's what we've been doing. And I think the consolidation period may have just slowed down, and we might just see that run up that we're looking for within Litecoin right now. Moving on to Bitcoin, guys, in a similar position, we have that top resistance right around the 9,500 region and a bottom support right around 88.50. Good thing about this, guys, is we needed to consolidate because we were so far away from this high-low middle moving average that we pretty much were going to come straight down or consolidate sideways. And luckily, we traded sideways, which is always good. Trading at about 50 on the stock RSI, which is also very nice to see for Bitcoin. And seeing that this high-low middle moving average is catching up with the price level, hopefully what's anticipated is we can see a nice pop right up off of that MMA, bringing us into some nice higher highs, maybe into that $10,000 region we're looking for. But definitely I can see and expect something to happen within the blue chip cryptos very soon with this RSI moving up. Looking at Bitcoin now on the daily, you'll notice where we're having the most issue right now is we're pretty much channeling right in between that that MMA. The stock RSI is around 57, so we're looking good on there. But you'll notice until we move out of this resistance, the longer we chill in between this MMA, the greater the chances we have of falling lower. So that's what I'm worried about. But if we can manage to start a new candle and move above, it'll be very nice to see. You'll notice we are now on a second candle. Hopefully this reverses and we can close above the first and start a new channel once again, and hopefully bring us higher. We're really looking to just get out of this region. This is a very negative region to be hanging out in for so long. We're looking to just break and move above, and we'll easily break into that $10,000 region. But we need to get out of this channel first and foremost. Ethereum also looking quite well. Very interesting. I do think Ethereum is most likely going to consolidate. You'll see what happened exactly, which is very interesting. We're looking at the 4-hour right now on Ethereum, and you'll notice how we were pretty much having this uptrend all the way since April 7th, all the way up until right around the May 1st. And then we broke below it. And now what you'll notice is it's acting as resistance as well as this line of resistance right here. So the uptrend right now is acting as resistance. You can see we're playing off of it, which is unfortunate. But you'll notice, again, we have the $695, $700 level for Ethereum, which is also acting as a resistance. So a lot happening right at this point, and it's kind of funny how we're kind of hanging out right there. Thing is, though, we are kind of far above the MMA, so it's possible we may just consolidate and float above this line, if not pull back slightly, just to retest and regain some support at this moving MA. And hopefully, or we might even go like this, more or less something like that. And as we come up, what we're looking for is the price maybe to either pull back down here, consolidate, and then build pressure into this and then pop up. That's what we're looking for. That will be the most ideal move we can see Ethereum doing. But anything's possible, guys. We can honestly see a pop sooner than that, being that this MA is moving a lot quicker than I anticipated in the upwards direction. But that's why the coin is staying at the top here, because the MMA is pushing it up. Lastly, let's look at Stellar. I haven't looked at Stellar in quite a while, so this should be interesting. I'm going to just quickly draw on some lines of support here for the chart, of course. And interesting. We are looking at the daily, so I want to just switch over, guys, into the 4-hour, see if we can get anything better. Yeah, so this is quite a bit more helpful. You'll notice where we're using these high-low minimum moving average, these lines of resistance and supports at. They're pretty obvious right now. You can see how many times we test it, and we test it here as well as up here as resistance and support. But basically what I can see Stellar doing is it's either going to stay above this line. It would be ideal for it to stay above. It's possible for it to break below, but it'd be nice for it to consolidate ever so slightly and allow this MA to pull up a little bit higher so that it can bounce up and go up. So that's what I'm anticipating, probably something like this. You'll notice we have this pattern here. So that's most likely what it's going to continue doing. It does seem to be at a slight uptrend, so I'm going to try and graph that in a second, and hopefully that'll help you guys. But I think Stellar's looking pretty nice right now. Just it definitely broke out of whatever like descending pattern it was in, and it's seeming to be in a more bullish standpoint right now. So hopefully, looking at the daily, we can draw some more lines on that are quite a bit more helpful. So maybe something like this was acting as the resistance for quite some time, something like that, and then we finally broke up right here and continued to go upwards, clearly facing resistance at that daily MMA, and then coming back down to support at the level of support right here, as well as the MMA finally coming back and catching up with the price, jumping up quite high and using this as support now. And there is, I don't know if there's a slight uptrend. The issue is there's only 2 points of contact here, so it's possible that this isn't one yet, but it definitely could be if we are able to consolidate and move closer to this line and then bounce off here again. It'll be a very good indication that that is a support level. But hopefully that will play out quite well. But what I'm anticipating for the most part Stellar to do is just consolidate sideways and then move up like it's been doing. So I wanted to show you guys this website. Basically, it pretty much just sums up how the market's doing today. It was posted around 5 hours ago by Rakesh. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. It says Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Stellar, Litecoin, just some other cryptocurrencies that we're going to look at today. Basically, it says Bitcoin broke below the ascending channel on May 1st, but found support at the 20-day EMA. It did not hit its raised stop loss at $8,600. But what I want you guys to notice is that we do seem to be in the support level, and as you can see, it goes right through the $10,000 level. We're using the moving average right now as support within this channel right here. So we should hopefully bounce off of this upwards trend and move higher up. So that's one thing to notice within Bitcoin. And then yeah, for Ethereum, as I pointed out before, you can see that we have just a very obvious uptrend right here. We did break below it on the 4-hour, so on the daily we do still look pretty good. So that's another thing. Seeing resistance though at 745, but definitely above the $700 region. So that's a nice thing to look at for Litecoin as well. And today we were looking at Stellar. So it says Stellar is currently holding close to the head of resistance at around 47 cents. The rounding bottom pattern will complete the breakout close to UTC. Above this level, it can also dip a little to form a cup and handle formation. Interesting, we were talking about that, but you can see the uptrend and at the resistance at around 50 cents. And then it says Litecoin continues to just trade in a tight range. It looks support at the 50-day SMA on May 1st, though the support levels are holding. Failure to rally shows lack of buying at higher levels. Yes, that's very interesting. If Litecoin pair fails to climb up soon, it might break below the 141 level and slides lower to 170, 127. Therefore, suggest retaining at stops at 140. But we shall close the position if we don't get a rally within the next 2 days. The level to watch on the upside are 160 to 180. So yes, like I said, the longer we hang out in that region right around that MA, the better chances we have of falling lower if there's not enough buying pressure to push us higher. But if there is a breakout, we should expect to see a crypto around 160 to 180. But that's going to wrap up the video for today, guys. So if you like this, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.